Okay, you're going to love this call, or maybe not. If you like listening to me talk on the phone with sellers, then you're going to like this call, because what we've done here is just record some of the calls that I've made, put them all in one place so you can listen to them all and see how I handle both high-end and low-end deals. There's no video attached, so your DVD is not broken. It's just audio. Betsy, my name is Ron LeGrand. One of my staff members talked to you about your house the other day in Atlantic Beach.
Uh-huh.
I'm following up here if you got a minute, do you?
Sure.
All right.
I'm getting a different place. Okay.
I've got all the information here, Betsy. I don't need to go over that. Well, I got a lot of the information. I know that my team talked to you about doing some terms, and I think they discussed a lease purchase with you, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Well, I've had several different calls from different type of people, so I don't know which person was your staff. But,
sure.
Anyway, anytime someone has asked me whether I was willing to do a lease purchase, my answer has been no. I'm not interested in doing a lease purchase.
So you wouldn't consider a lease purchase or selling with owner financing?
Or selling with what?
Owner financing.
No. No.
Well, Betsy, let me give you just a little bit of idea of what we do here. I've been at this for a long time now here, for about 30 years to be exact. And my whole goal is to put somebody in your house that will make payments until we can get them cashed out in a relatively short term. And that's usually somewhere between 1 to 3 years. And I'm not a realtor. I'm not interested in listing your house. But I do have a rather large list of potential buyers. And if I don't have them, then I spend a considerable amount of money finding them.
Mm-hmm.
But I work with people who need time because they can't qualify right now, which, by the way, is about 80% of the market that is looking to buy houses. And it doesn't cost you anything because I generally raise the price enough to cover my compensation because we can offer them terms. But it is a delay. It is a delayed cash out, is what it is. But in the meantime, go ahead.
I appreciate the value of that type of opportunity in the appropriate situation. Unfortunately, this is not one of those.
Okay.
This is a situation where my mother died.
Right.
We are, the house is actually owned by a total of 7 people because there's 7.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
And,
I bet that's fun.
Which is not, there's no problem at all.
Yeah.
But my point of trying to communicate to you is that we're just interested in selling it. We're not interested in, we're just ready to sell it and get rid of it type of thing.
Well, I got it. I hear that a lot.
So that's why. We're not cash strapped. We're not in a desperate situation or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we had it appraised. We know that the value is actually in the land. It's 3 blocks to the ocean,
Mm-hmm.
and 3 blocks to a very popular town center area.
I was raised at the beach. Yep.
The lot, it's 2.5 lots. I've gone to the city. The city has given me a letter telling me that if someone wanted to tear down the house, they could actually split the lots.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 lots close to the ocean. So we know the value is in the land. A house in the exact same situation as this one sold. It closed on October 5th for $900,000. The exact same lot.
Mm-hmm.
So that's right. We're just ready to. We're happy to entertain any offers, but and I'm happy to take if you wanted to send me an email with a particular offer or something in mind. I'm happy to take it to all the owners. But I can tell you that
Mm-hmm.
the conversations I've had with people that the lease purchase option is not one that they would.
Well, I understand. That's the purpose of my call. I'm a terms buyer, period. No sense me making you a cash offer. We just don't do that.
Yeah.
So if there's no terms right now, then no problem.
Not right now. And that's not to say that it wouldn't change, right? But at this point, that's not.
So you're telling me then if I brought you a buyer with a substantial down payment who could cash you out in a year or so, you wouldn't want to hear about them?
I'm saying that I'm happy to look at anything. I'm just telling you that as far as it would have to be. I'm not the only decision maker, so
Mm-hmm.
therefore I would be happy to take it to the other people. But I'm telling you that thus far, when I've discussed it with people, are you willing to at least for the idea that the person would buy? The answer I got was no. Now money talks. So if somebody had something substantial that was worthwhile, perhaps they would change their mind.
Not a problem.
I'm just trying to be candid with you, Ron. I don't want to mislead you in any way. I'm just trying to be very candid.
Well, I appreciate that, and so am I. Thank you so much
Good.
for your time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
My name is Ron LeGrand. You talked to my partner, Andrew Reynolds, about your house. In fact, it was
Yes, sir.
12 days ago, and I've been on a cruise the whole time.
I heard. That's such a terrible thing.
I know. It's tough.
I wanted to go. I wanted to go.
Somebody's got to do it,
Yeah.
All right. I got all the information here. I don't need to go through all that again.
Okay.
A couple of things I don't have, though. I see your payment is $4,000, but I still don't know if that's taxes and insurance or not.
No. Now you're talking about which house?
The one on Holly Tree.
Yeah. Actually, that payment is going to be higher than that. It's around $4,800, I believe. Closer to $5,000 if I'm just estimating off the top of my head. And then taxes and insurance we pay separately.
Well, that itself is about $1,617 a month, if I'm calculating right.
That sounds about right.
Okay. So you're thinking the payment is $4,800 plus the 16?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's getting up there, isn't it? 16,
Right.
17. Okay. So you are at 48, let's see, about 6,600 if I'm calculating correct here.
Yeah, I
Yep.
mean, I don't know exactly what it is. I've never really calculated it from that perspective, but that sounds pretty close.
All right, so I think Andrew probably explained to you what we do. We do a lot of things, actually. Sometimes we buy them. Sometimes we just get an agreement and plug in a buyer that we all like.
Right.
I'd buy it with owner financing, Jimmy. We are in the terms business. Our whole goal is to find somebody who can qualify and cash you out within not too long of a time. In fact, wouldn't put anybody in there we didn't feel could do that. Usually it's a couple of years. We like to get a 3-year balloon on them when we write them up, but honestly that's going to be totally relevant as to what our buyer wants when we find that buyer and we all think that they're the right people to go in the house.
Okay.
Sometimes they don't need that long, sometimes they do. It would be in their best advantage to refinance anyway, because I think they might be able to get that payment down some if they did.
Right. Well, I would think with the interest rates right now, surely they could, but
Yeah. Well, they're not going to get your taxes and insurance down, but I haven't
No.
stopped to calculate what they could do to the payment. So, do you guys have another place to go yet?
no, because at this point, I don't know if you know a little bit of the history here. We've had this on the market for about a year and a half, and I think we've had, that I can count on one hand, one visit that mattered. And it was just because it was too big for them. But other than that, just no activity. And when we talked to, because the second agent that we used kind of told us, well, it's because the first agent didn't do what she needed to and blah, 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 and the whole spiel, and she was going to come in and it was going to be gone in no time, and of course that didn't happen.
Of course.
So we're just frustrated now. If you drive by my house, you'll see it for sale by owner, and not because I have it on the website or anything like that. It's simply because I have it sign in my yard, so if somebody drives by and they want to stop, I've already had one call.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of our position on it. As far as where we go,
Well, here's probably the smartest thing for us to do. Number one, we're in a terms business, Jimmy, because we get, there's 10 times more buyers who can buy it on terms and move into it and get qualified with a little bit of time, helping get cleaned up whatever is broke. Sometimes it's just a matter of that they're self-employed and they need more time. Sometimes it's maybe they don't have enough down to satisfy the lender. Sometimes it's just their credit issues need to be fixed. We can help them with all that, but it takes time.
right.
So if you're not opposed to giving us the time while getting your payment made, then we will find that person for that house. We really got nothing to lose by trying. It really cost you nothing. Now, we're not realtors. I want to make sure you understand that.
Right.
I have to have an agreement to buy it on terms before I can put it out to the market. And we get paid from the difference between what we get down and what we give you down. So obviously, I'm going to want you to take as little down as possible.
Right.
And the big thing is to find somebody who can cover that payment and ultimately can qualify. And, you know, I'll tell you that they're going to need a substantial down payment to qualify at any bank. They're way above what FHA will do, so you're looking at a substantial buyer right off that would even be looking at $1 million house.
Sure.
So, again, all we need for you to do is decide, yes, I want to go forward. Let's see what the market will bring, and then we will get together after we find that out. In order to do that, we just need an agreement and a way to get them in when we do locate them. We'll go spend quite a bit of money on a massive internet campaign targeting the right prospects for the house and see what we can churn up, but I guarantee you we're going to have to show it more than once. Maybe the first time will be the only time, but when you're offering terms, it's a totally different world.
I understand. Now, when you talk about to see what it'll bring, you're talking about having an appraisal, I assume.
Well, not right now. We're going to do comps on it ourselves. I think we're okay where we're at. By the way, we will raise the price enough to cover our compensation and do our best to get you the $985 you're asking.
Okay.
Again, I'm not making any promises until I find a buyer, but just the fact that we can offer terms like that, Jimmy, gives us the leverage to do that.
Okay.
So,
all right, that sounds like something we definitely want to certainly give some very good consideration to.
all right.
And he told me you would be providing us with some numbers. I mean, you kind of telling me
Well,
what I'm hearing now is kind of what I'm looking at, but something that would help me a lot is kind of
here's the numbers.
thing we need to do is this, second thing this, and so on. So
Here's the numbers and the steps.
Okay.
The numbers are, we're going to write it up for $985.
Okay.
We're going to write it up to where your monthly payment is $66.17 PITI, because that's what it's going to take.
Okay.
And we're going to write it up with a 3-year balloon. So the only thing left is, can you sell it to us with nothing down, so that we can put it in the market? Keep in mind now, whoever's going into this house is not going to buy it with nothing down.
Right.
But the more spread we can get, obviously the better we're going to like it.
Okay.
And again, if you want us to, I mean, I'll be happy to let you approve who we put in there, but I can tell you right now, if they pass our scrutiny, they'll pass yours.
Right. No, and I know you're going to do your best because, at the end of the day, you want to get paid.
That is the plan. We're not a nonprofit on purpose.
That
Yeah.
tells me that you need them to be good and to follow through.
Yeah.
Okay.
So really all I need to do is get an appointment set up for Andrew to come over and take a look at it. I would like to see some pictures of the house. I'm sure they're online somewhere, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Now, the only other thing is, you tell me about pressure to sell for less than we're asking.
Pressure to sell for less than what you're asking?
Yeah.
I certainly won't come from me.
Okay.
Again, I'm going to take it into the market. I don't know what price I'm going to put on it right now, but it's going to be higher than $985.
Okay.
Again, I'm trying to get it higher so that I can actually create a note at least for the $985, so that you get paid the full amount. But the market is going to speak, and we're going to find whoever we can that's interested, and then if we have to come back and change anything, we just get with you and take it from there.
Okay.
Again, there's really nothing to lose.
So in the 3-year balloon, basically what happens is it comes all due at that
Yep.
moment and
Yep.
paid by
Yep.
someone.
They have 3 years to pay you off, and honestly, it don't really normally take that amount of time. If they're going to go get a loan, they're going to want to do it as soon as they can.
Sure. No problem. So I'll chat with my husband tonight, and then if Mr. Reynolds wants to give me a call, we can schedule something.
Well, you can just tell me right now, when do you want him to come over?
Well, I'll have to get with him because he's got a couple of interviews going on. He's a physician, so he's got some things going on, and I'll have to get with him and make sure. I'd hate to speak out of turn and schedule something.
All right, then I'll have Andrew call you, and when he comes, he'll bring an agreement with him.
That sounds perfect.
All right, but you guys are living in this house, right?
Yes, we are.
All right, well, see, that's even better because there's no need for you to move till we find somebody that we like.
Okay, no problem. And don't forget also the other house on Chisholm. I don't know if he's talked to you about that one.
I do not know of enough. Oh, I do have one. I didn't know that was yours.
Yes, sir. And we also have rental income properties, a clinic, and duplexes that we're going to actually have listed now on LoopNet.
All right, so you're getting $3,200 a month on that one?
Actually, that one is increasing because we're about to sign a triple net on that particular house, the doctor and his wife, and it's going to go to cover taxes, insurance, and everything, and it's going to be around $4,000 a month.
Well, then what do you need us for if you're going to triple net to the
Well,
tenant?
you know, that's true, and that's what we talked about, but he kind of mentioned maybe some other ideas, so that's the reason I asked about it.
Well, I mean, I buy houses all the time with owner financing, but if you're getting a triple net on it and you're putting a doctor in it, I would think that you probably should just lease option it out to the doctor and then give them amount of time to pay you off, don't you think?
That's what we want to do, and they do want to buy it.
Okay.
So
Well,
maybe I'll
and Andrew can help you with that because you will need a lease option agreement that is suitable for Texas. They have their own laws there.
Okay. Well, and the other thing with regard to that is they want to buy, and there's some of those people you're talking about helping. You know, I know there's some issues there where she can't just run over to the bank and get a loan
Okay,
straight
well,
away.
I'll tell you what, you discuss that with Andrew when he comes, because we can take on both houses, that's not a problem. But in this case, then you just want us to work with your tenant buyer and get fixed whatever is broke along the way?
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking.
All right, did you talk to them about a non-refundable option deposit?
No, we didn't. What is that?
You don't want to put a tenant in your house without getting a non-refundable option deposit. Now, that goes toward their down payment, but
Okay.
I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll make a deal with you right now that we'll split whatever deposit we get out of your doctor
Okay.
and let Andrew handle that, or I'll handle it. But we don't ever put a tenant buyer in a house without getting a non-refundable deposit. In addition to that, we make sure they are responsible for 100% of the repairs and maintenance.
Yes, sir. That's our goal.
Oh, we don't do it without doing that.
Okay.
And I've been at this for 32 years, and trust me, I wouldn't even consider.
Yeah, you sound like you're seasoned in this.
Does that mean old?
No, sir. You sound like you know what you're talking about.
All right. Well, I'm going to pass this information on to Andrew,
Okay.
discuss them both. But in this case, if you've already got a tenant buyer, we'll just need to get an application on them. And, technically we can't do that for you and get paid unless we have an agreement on it or unless we have a license.
Okay.
And we don't want a license, so I'll talk to Andrew about it. We may have to get a lease option on the agreement on this one and then put the tenant buyer in there and assign a new agreement to you. And don't worry about all that. That'll just
Okay.
confuse you. All right.
No problem. I appreciate it. So we'll
Okay.
wait to hear from him, and I'll chat with my husband tonight.
I imagine he'll be calling you before the day's over to make an appointment.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right.
Hello?
Hey, Brad.
Yeah, this is he.
Ron LeGrand here on your house.
Yes. Hey there.
Got a minute?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
All right. Well, as you know, I looked at it yesterday. I love the house. Of course, I'm not so in love with the area. I'm sure you've
Yeah.
heard that before.
Yeah, I know. It's private. You want private land? That's where you can get it in the middle of the city, right by that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's going to be a hurdle for me to try to overcome that. But for every house, there's a buyer. Just how long it's going to take is is the big question. All right, you got something to write with? Let me tell you what I can do, and then if you tell me to, I'll send you an agreement, and we can go from there. I'm going to be leaving town here in about an hour, but I want to get this done before I go. I think you told me your family wanted to live in it till the end of the year, right?
No, I'm saying that more than likely, they could definitely move out the first couple of weeks in January, but they could be out before Christmas. It depends on the buyer.
Oh, honestly, I don't care. Hell, I wouldn't want them to move out of there before Christmas. I mean,
Yeah, that's kind of quick.
that's pretty-
Definitely the next couple
yeah.
of weeks after January, sure.
all right. Well, here, write these numbers down. Here's what I can do for you. I can buy it with owner financing at $549 with $15,000 down, but I'll pay all your closing costs, which for your information is about another $7,000. I will cover my payment to you will equal your payment going out. That's really it's all only important part there. Whatever principal, interest, taxes, and insurance we'll deal with later. I don't know. I just know that I'll.
Around $3,000.
Yeah, right. I'm going to want a 3-year balloon rather than a 2-year balloon. However, I got to tell you, I probably won't need it. My whole objective is, I think I told you yesterday, is to put somebody in there that I like, that I think can cash out, because honestly, I don't get my payday till I do, pretty much. So That's what we do. That's what I specialize in and have been for years. Putting somebody in there that I know that can qualify if I help them fix whatever's broke now and try to get them out as fast as we can. But 2 years is a mighty short window. So I'm going to need 3, even though I'm telling you I may not need it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I know that me and the ex-wife would not be interested in that offer because we would not have any money in which to build a new house, buy new houses until you find someone and it's closed out. Because it seems like I would still be paying the bills. You pay me the $3,000 each month, and I pay the bill. I'm still on tap for the home, and I won't have any money, profit money.
Well, you won't have any profit money till I get cashed out, but you won't have any expenses in the meantime.
Yeah.
That's true. What I am is a delayed cash out. There's no doubt about that, Brad. I can't get you cashed out right now at top retail price. And you don't even want to know what I'd pay cash, so that's out of the question. So my whole business is term, so if you're telling me you cannot wait a while to get cashed out, then honestly, there's nothing I can do with it.
Yeah, no, I can't. We're looking for families to buy it and move in and qualify for loans. And we got a couple of families that are very interested and they're looking.
All right. Well, if that doesn't work out the way you plan, capture my number
Yep, I have it right now.
and let me know, because honestly, I'm not moving in. So whenever you tell me to get back to the table with you, then I'll do it. So in the meantime, I'll set it aside and let you see what you can do to get it cashed out. I think you got.
What would you say that you could put down on it?
I got a feeling I'm going to be making some payments out of pocket before I get the house occupied, so I want to get into it as light as I can. And again, I offer to pay your closing costs. I'm telling you, that's about $7,000 on that thing right there.
You buy it at the $549.
Yeah, you want me to send this to you in writing? What the heck? At least you'll have it there.
Yeah, do that.
Give me.
We can have a more professional way of.
Give me your email address. All right. Well, I'll get you. I'm just going to tell you the numbers, and I'll get that to you by email before I leave here today, and then you can get back to me when you want. All right.
Cool. The family go. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Brad. Well, I hope you enjoyed that lesson on making calls. As you can see, I don't do it like you do it, and you don't need to do it like I do it. You just need to get it done in your own way. Our next lesson is really going to be cool. It's on deal structuring, where Lynette Wolf and I actually take leads out of the class and go over them and help the student who is sitting up there with us decide whether they want to buy it or not buy it, and how to buy it, and then what to do with it after they get it bought. This is going to be a very exciting lesson. You're going to see clearly where the big money is made in the pretty house business and why, and how easy it is to pull these things out of thin air once you learn pre-screening, which is what this last call was all about. And now we're going to talk about, okay, I got them, now what do I do with them?